What's up guys, my name's Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about this week at Bungie for October 4th, 2018. In this week, there's a couple of really interesting things to look out for. For example, this dude, the Malfeasance quest, they're talking about how that works, a bunch of bug fixes, as well as a bunch of things that are coming into the future, the next few updates, the Halloween event that's coming soon, and a bunch of different bug fixes. So, as well as this little comment right here, that's a link. So stay tuned if you want to see what that is. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this first section. Just says, hey, it's Forsaken. It's been great, right? I love it. And here's some stuff. We asked questions on Twitter, 4 different things, asking what your triumph score is. Saw a dude with 51,800. Ridiculous. God rolls. What are your best weapons that you've gotten dropped? People send in their stuff. What's your coolest looking gear sets, and even titles? Apparently the title appears right below your character's, like, their name. So that's actually really cool to be like, yes, I am the Wayfarer. I am the god amongst mere mortals. Shout out to anybody who understands that reference. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the first one. It's going to be about Gambit and the Malfeasance quest. If you did not know, the first step to getting Malfeasance is to killing this little bugger in Gambit. Of course, it is random when he appears, so it's a little annoying to get. Some big things to know about him is that he is more likely to spawn the more cursed a week is. If you did not know, there's a 3-week cycle where the curse starts as weak, which is this week, and then it goes to medium, and then it goes to a strong, which is called the full curse. And every week, the more curse there is, the more likely he is to spawn. So in 2 weeks, come back and try to farm for this dude, because apparently he'll be as frequent as any other boss. So again, he will be just as likely as any of the other, I think, 4 bosses to spawn, which gives him like a 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 chance of spawning every time a Primeval is up, which is actually really cool. And on top of that, there's been some power ammo changes. One way to combat the Sleeper Simulant is to give it 2 shots from a power ammo instead of 4, which is really nice. And the swords get 12 ammo instead of 6. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to get 6 ammo. The sword holds up to like, what, 42, 47, 48 ammo, and you give it 6? Nobody ever likes swords. Why would you do this? But it's good to see that they're actually raising it. This next section will talk about the update calendar. Instead of a roadmap, they just wanted to very briefly discuss the things that are coming October 16th as well as October 30th. So coming up in the 2.0.4 update, there's going to be a couple of really nice things. So quality of life things, including ability to hover over lost sectors to see their name once the player's completed them. Makes it very nice and easy to figure out which is which. Players can now track up to 3 pursuits. I don't know why they gave us just 1. Added Through the Fire, Zenobia D, and Crooked Fang to the World Legendary pool. So that's basically, if you get a legendary and it's a heavy and it's just randomly in the world, it has a chance of being an edge transit. Well, now you have the chance of getting this grenade launcher, this rocket launcher, and this linear fusion rifle. You can see FR right there is fusion rifle. One thing I would mention is the fact that we can finally get linear fusion rifles as a random drop now is so good, because that means we can finally get box breathing on a linear fusion rifle, which sounds awesome. They're also going to be fixing a bug where Prime Engrams go straight to the Postmaster after the Crucible match. Also adding transmit effects to the collections under the Flare category. The tracking for that started on Forsaken September 4th, so any transmit effect you had after that date will be in your collections and you can re-get them. Anything other than that will not be counted. Also identified a very rare issue where Gambit Invasion Portal is not reactivated once used, which is annoying because then you can't invade. And they're developing a fix where 1000 voices may cause a loud screeching audio when firing from strafing or jumping. I thought this was just the 1000 voices. Is this not just the 1000 voices being like, "Gah!" Like Hawkmoon style, or is... Okay, well I guess that could actually just be really annoying. Coming up in the October 30th update is going to be a couple of other things, including rebalancing functionality of distribution and dynamo perks, which is actually one of the better perks in Destiny. Basically allows you to get your super energy extremely quickly. Arrow did a very, very nice video on this. Make sure you check it out. It's on a pair of boots and stuff, so check it out and try it out before October 30th, and you can get some significant advantages to getting super energy. They did a couple of increasing of damage to the sword and PvE as well as fusion rifles. Both of these weapons are significantly underpowered. I did a bunch of DPS tests recently on heavy weapons, and swords were just getting their asses kicked. And these things should be the strongest because they are the most risk-heavy weapons in the game. Perhaps maybe not like to the extent of having to use a whisper and sniper and missing, but like swords, this should be like Destiny 1 style. Swords should be the DPS weapons, and because it is very risky, and shotguns just shoot them out of the water, as well as the fusion rifles, just doing nothing. Thank God that they're going to be increasing them. Honestly, it should be greatly, not not slightly. Next up, increasing viability of Malfeasance in PvE and Gambit. Adjusting visibility through the Titan's banner shield. That's going to be his, you shoot through the shield and you get bonus effects. Adjusting exotic rewards to help reduce the number of duplicate jobs. You can still get a duplicate, but you have a better chance of getting those Forsaken exotics, which people have been going after. Chance of getting a Nightfall unique will increase every time you do not get the unique, which is nice. Adding Masterwork cores as rewards to specific spider wanted bounties and general scrapper bounties. I knew it. I called it. I knew they were going to put it on something that we didn't want to do so that we would actually go do them. Oh man, we're gonna have to go out there and farm some Masterwork cores off of wanted bounties. Reducing the time it takes for a single shader deletion. Honestly, what you should do instead is make it so we can pick how much we want to delete at once. Honestly, Bungie. Just at the crypt target, make it so we can, you know, slide it over to the right and pick that we want to delete 1,000. Like, come on! And of course, there is an issue where the Ascendant Primeval, which is going to be that Malfeasance Primeval, wherever you kill it, the opposing team receives credit, which should be infuriating. Next up, wishes and curses. Basically, this entire section says they're not doing a prestige version of the Last Wish raid. So there's not going to be like a prestige raid layer version where they just add modifiers, or there's not going to be any modifiers that change the encounters whatsoever. They basically said, hey, Last Wish, we did as much as we possibly could to make it the end game activity. We're not going to be changing in any way. Part of me thinks this is a little lazy, but the other part of me thinks, hey, at least they didn't take stuff out of normal so they could put it in the prestige version. But honestly, Bungie has been really weak in the prestige game lately, so honestly, this might be a good idea. Do you remember how long it took us to get the Eater Worlds prestige? Honestly, it's better this way. And of course, if you're holding an annual pack, make sure you look up for the next layer, which is coming December, for that next update and DLC. Next up, let's talk about the Halloween event, Lost and Found. In October, there's going to be a Festival of the Lost beginning October 16th, which is going to be the same date as that first list of updates I mentioned before, with the celebration of the Lost of Heroes. With new challenges to tackle, I assume as well, new triumphs for that event section, including a costume party as well as a quest to solve a murder. Hopefully the ghost gets into it all Sherlock Holmes style. And finally, the bug reports as well as the known issues. First up is going to be Nightfall ranks. Toil and Trouble being the shotgun that is sold by Zavala, that tier 10 Masterwork Toil and Trouble for purchase, you have to be Nightfall rank 14. Many people don't really understand how it works, and they explain it right here. Basically, anytime you complete a Nightfall strike with a bonus threshold, which is 100,000 points, you get a whole point of increase to your Nightfall rank. So you get 1 point for doing a single strike with at least 100,000 score. And if you have any percentage between 0 and 100,000, that's how you get decimals. But I assume anything after 100,000 doesn't count. Slightly annoying considering that I wanted to show off, you know, how cool my actual scores are in general, but apparently this is just get 100,000 score on everything and you can get yourself a rank 14. And on top of that, he also has regular Vanguard ranks. Basically, give him tokens, he gives you engrams. Those are Vanguard ranks. A lot of people having issues with Weasel errors. This happens when bounties expire in a person's postmaster. Now, I didn't even realize bounties could go to the postmaster, but if you receive those bounties from destroying a piece of equipment, those little blue things that look like patrol beacons, if those don't have space, they probably will go to the postmaster. If they expire in there, they seem to be having an issue. So make sure you get rid of them before logging off and you can avoid that issue. This is actually really, really bad because you may not be able to log into that character ever until they resolve the issue. Next up, some Forsaken known issues. Gambit Malfeasance boss, where you don't get the credit for the kill, the other team does, we mentioned before. Infusion without Masterwork cores. If you're trying to infuse something, it doesn't say you need Masterwork cores. If you don't have Masterwork cores, you may not actually be able to infuse, which is kind of weird. Heroic Adventures on Mercury, if you can't do certain ones, you gotta make sure you do the normal ones first, that's the reason why. And then finally, Clan Bounty Percentage, which I have experienced, where an issue where Hawthorne's weekly XP appears to be resetting during the week. I had it at 70%, logged on the next day, went for like 3 bounties, and I'm like, wait, why do I have 0? What's going on? Which is unfortunate. And lastly, it's gonna be the movies of the week. First off, Petra's Run Flawless Raid. I assume Petra's Run means flawless. This is going to be one of those triumphs in the, you know, the Last Wish triumph. So if you want to get Petra's Run, this is apparently how you do it. I haven't watched it, but gigs in tier 1, you know, why not? You know, because they just do everything. This video here, I recommend you take a look at. This dude is actually, everything's in Russian. So he basically just goes through and just starts punching everybody down with a Synthocept and just starts murdering everybody because that thing is overpowered. And then you hear Shax in the background go, "Fantastic!" I don't know much Russian, but I heard that, and Watching like Russians just punch everybody down, that's just, I don't know why, it's just really funny to me. And then lastly, this dude who gets a synchronized blade barrage with this dude in Gambit, which is a very cool, very fun thing to watch. And that's pretty much it. The last thing I gotta say is obviously this little link here, which leads to honestly 50-50 between cat and edge transit, and obviously you can't have any, you know, cats drop, so it's gotta be edge transit. But that's it. That's the video for guys today. That's this week at Bungie. Hopefully there's no issues with this one. I was having huge microphone issues with this, and hopefully I can get a new cable soon. On screen will be a list of different fluffers, so if you guys want to learn about the new fluffers that are going to be going on this week, I don't know why I'm acting like these fluffers are some like update that Bungie's releasing. Yeah, look at the new update of fluffers, the fluffer reset. Anyways, there's cute animals on screen. That's all you really need to know. And that's the video. Hashtag made it to the fluffers. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you for watching, as well as leaving likes down below and subscribing. You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening. And of course, my name is Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.